expert on obsession and violence. Though he never examined Saldivar, we asked him to take a look at our interview with her for any hints of obsessive homicidal behavior. He says the strongest clue is that she brought a gun to the final meeting.
Why is there a loaded gun there when perhaps there's a job termination? And two, why does she put the gun to her head in order to end the relationship? Those two are strikingly abnormal and are usually absent in any kind of relationship ending.
Dr. Malloy says Saldivar appears to fit a pattern of an obsessive personality. We ask him about her claim that it was she who was ending the relationship instead of Selena.
I told her no, that it was over.
Now, Yolanda is describing here the exact opposite of what Selena's family has described.
Yes, sometimes there's a reversal in these cases of roles. And what we may be seeing here is the person that's about to be abandoned, in order to understand it or justify it in her own mind, becomes the person in the position of doing the abandoning.
So her version turns everything around.
Exactly, the roles shift and the roles alter, and we have tragedy.
He was particularly struck by Saldivar's answer to our next question.
If you could go back and do something differently on that morning of March 31st, what would you do?
I would want her to kill me.
Dr. Malloy says that's an indication that Saldivar expected one of them to die that day.
Instead of her saying, I wish we were both safe and nothing had happened, instead she has to direct the aggression toward herself rather than Selena.
So you think that it appears that she was considering suicide here?
I think so. I think so. That's why these situations are extremely dangerous and unpredictable, because that homicidal impulse is shifting rapidly between the wish to kill the self and the wish to kill the other.
And there were just seconds there to determine who was going to die.
Perhaps even less than that.
Throughout our interview, Saldivar kept referring to a mysterious deep secret that she shares with Selena. She says they even talked about it on the day of the murder.
You talked about a secret, that you're protecting a secret.
That's true.
What secret?
I can't indulge that at this point because my case is an appeal. But I know that one day people will know.
Let's stop it there. I don't know if there's a secret, but I do know that by her saying she has a secret, she maintains a special, exclusive relationship with Selena that nobody else has.
Even now?
Even now.
Yolanda, whether it was accidental or whether it was intentional, you were responsible for Selena's death. How do you live with that?
It was an accident. I'm dead inside. I have no feelings. I'm like a walking shell. Selena will always be a daughter for me. She will always be that gentle child I never had. And I thank her for it.
There's a link to Selena now that nobody can devalue nor remove. You know, through one act, she has now established a notoriety that will remain, and her name will be linked to Selena's memory. And that, for her, in a sense, reestablishes that special fantasy.
Deborah, Yolanda Saldivar is in prison for 30 years without parole, right?
Right.
But she said that she wants her case to come up for appeal. Is that going to happen?
Well, her lawyers are trying for an appeal. They're also trying for a new trial. They have a hearing scheduled this month at which they'll argue that parts of the trial were handled improperly, and they'll also argue that police ignored her comments that the shooting was an accident and that they deliberately left it out of her confession. But they're arguing this before the same judge who heard the trial, so many are skeptical about whether it will work.
Selena was only 23 and on the verge of becoming a megastar.
And the thing that's so heartbreaking for her father is that he will never know how well she could have done. Ironically, her last album that she recorded before her death sold 3 million copies.
And now she's a legend.
She is.
Tragic, all around tragic. Thank you, Deborah.